Shalom, shalom. I want to thank you for tuning in to 5MB, 5-Minute Breakdowns with your brother Daniela Natazak, voice of Yahweh Camp. First of all, we want to give honor and praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. That means God the Father, Yahweh Bahasham, which is in the name of. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We want to give double honors to the elders, and we want to give honor to all the Akiyam, all the soldiers out in the field who put in the work for the Most High every day. So that being said, I just want to do a real quick breakdown on Romans 14 from 1 to 4. I've often heard this verse used by Christians to say that we shouldn't argue if one eats unclean meat and one doesn't. But if you really read into the context of what it's talking about, doubtful disputations, right? You have to really get context of what it's talking about. So we're going to read, it's going to be a real quick breakdown. We're going to read Romans 14 from the beginning. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. Verse 2. Now really listen to what it's saying in verse 2. For one believeth that he may eat all things. Now, when it says all things, you always got to go back to the foundation of all things. He means all things within the confines of his laws, within the confines of what he created as food. So, and he says, another who is weak eateth herbs. So you got to understand, the argument here is one eats herbs and then the other ones eat whatever outside of herbs. So that would be meat. So one eats meat, one eats herbs. That's what the whole argument is about. It's not about one who eats unclean meat and one who eats clean meat. That's not what this is about. And I've heard it used and twisted to try to explain this to mean that. That's not what it means. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not. So whether one eats beef within the confines of the law, within the confines of his word, or clean meat, and one chooses not to eat meat, and that may cause him to stumble, he becomes the weaker person because that person looks at the person that eats meat and calls him wrong, while the person who eats veggies or herbs, the person that eats meat calls them wrong. So he's saying, why are you guys even arguing about this? They're both within the confines of the law. It's not unlawful to eat herbs, and it's not unlawful to eat clean meat. So the argument here is one who eats herbs, only herbs, and one who eats meat. That's all it's saying. Don't have arguments over this. You know what I'm saying? And it says, who art thou that judgest another man's servant to his own master? He standeth or falleth. Yea, he shall be holden up, for God is able to make him stand. So for those of you who are trying to use Romans 14 to justify why you want to continue to eat unclean meat, why you want to continue to eat pork, shellfish, and everything that wasn't even considered food from the beginning of time. So when he says everything, he means everything within the confines of his law. You got to understand that when he said pig was unclean, because pig was made to clean the earth. Shellfish and all these bottom feeders were exactly that. They were made to clean the sea. Well, we're eating all the cleaners. So when he says everything concerning meat, he's talking about everything that he made as food. Understand that pork and shellfish were cleaners. They were never intended to be food. We have made it food. So we always try to put what we know as food. But to the Most High, those things are not food. They are cleaners. So stop using Romans 14 to justify that you want to eat unclean things. Right? It's basically people disputing one who eats herbs, one who chooses to eat meat. That's all Romans 14, 1 to 4 is talking about. So hopefully you were edified by this and you have a little bit more understanding of Romans 14, 1 to 4. Shalom. Have a blessed day.